talk periods. Oh, it feels so good to like talk about a topic like this because I used to be so scared to talk about my period, or like I would go through the grocery store and like be so nervous to check out if like a boy was checking out me, like not checking me out, but if he was like, you know, checking me out. How do you say that? At the grocery store, like I felt awkward if I had tampons, and that is so silly because it is a natural thing that all females like we go through, and so there's no reason why we should feel awkward about this. So I'm excited to talk about this in my video. I am kickstarting my Things I Wish a Sister Taught Me series on YouTube again, and this is the first video to kickstart that series. I'm working with Tampax on this video because they reached out to me and they were like, they actually gave me this idea for this video. They're like, we want your followers to send in myths or questions that they have about tampons, and we're gonna provide the answers for you. And so actually Dr. Melissa Holmes, who is an obstetrician, gynecologist, who is working with Tampax, provided all of the answers for this video. So like all the answers are legit. This is like real information. These are real myths that you guys sent me. In fact, I learned a lot because like it's just one of those topics that nobody really ever talks to me about. So I even learned a ton from this video. So I'm gonna go through all the myths for y'all and then provide some background or answers for these myths. So let's get started. Myth number 1, tampons are uncomfortable. So if you insert tampons properly, then they should not be uncomfortable or cause any discomfort whatsoever. But inserting them properly is like the number 1 rule, number 1 key rule. You gotta insert them properly. Also, using the lowest absorbency is probably best. So as you start to understand your body and, you know, the flow of your menstrual cycle, you'll start to understand, okay, maybe I need a heavier tampon, you know, the first couple of days, but then I can move to a different size the last couple of days. So that's why it's so cool that Tampax has different sizes for their tampons. So these are the regular sizes. But you can get like the assorted packs, so you can have supers in there, you can have light days, you can have regular days. But I think that the more that you start to understand your body, the more you'll know what you need. As long as you feel like clean and you're taken care of and protected, then I think that that's all that matters. The myth is that wearing tampons means that you're not a virgin. The fact is, wearing tampons does not affect whether or not you are a virgin, which is a term used to describe whether someone has had sex or not. So let's get technical here, shall we? So historically speaking, the hymen got a lot of attention because it can break or tear the first time that a female has sex. The hymen is this like thin layer of skin that partially covers the vaginal opening. So it got a lot of attention, but now that we have a ton of studies, we know that the hymen can stretch or tear from a lot of other things. So virginity is more of a decision that you're making whether or not you choose to have sex or not. And if you wear a tampon, that does not affect your virginity. Myth number 3, you can't wear tampons when you're sleeping. That is the myth. The fact is, you can wear tampons for up to 8 hours. After 8 hours, I would make sure you change it out. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether it's during the day or sleeping, as long as you're just wearing it for 8 hours. I try not to sleep in mine because I feel like sometimes I forget, but if you do want to sleep in your tampon, then just make sure you change it right before you go to bed and then change it right whenever you wake up in the morning. That is the myth. The fact is, you cannot get a tampon lost inside of you. Oh my gosh, that is actually something I used to like freak about whenever I first started using tampons in like middle school or high school. I don't know. I think it was a late bloomer, but anyway. So you cannot get a tampon lost inside of you because the only other hole is through your cervix, which is a really small hole. So a tampon cannot fit through your cervix. So it is where it is, and that's why they invent like the string at the end of the tampon so that it doesn't get lost inside of you. And if it does go like a little too far, I would just try like squatting and trying to remove it from there. And if you still can't, you can go see a physician, go see your doctor. It's really nothing to be embarrassed about. It happens all the time. But no, you cannot get a tampon lost inside of you. Phew. the fact is tampons are not dangerous whenever you use them correctly. So make sure that you follow the directions. So I'm gonna give you guys 3 tips to help use tampons in a really healthy way. So number 1, just make sure that you're using or wearing your tampon for up to 8 hours, no longer. If you want, you can even set an alarm on your phone. Sometimes that helps me. Tip number 2 is to use the lowest absorbency to maintain your menstrual cycle flow. Just using the lowest absorbency that you can is really healthy. And then tip number 3, wash your hands before and after you insert or take out your tampon. Just every time you insert one or take it out, think of me saying, girl, instead of girl wash your face, girl wash your hands. The fact is, anyone can get toxic shock syndrome. That's really hard for me to say. Say that 3 times fast. Toxic shock syndrome, toxic shock syndrome, toxic shock. Oh my gosh. Using tampons does not cause toxic shock syndrome. So what happens is when a bacteria, it's called Staphylococcus aureus, releases this toxin called TSST like -1. I don't know, I was reading the notes before this, that's the only reason why I know. But when that toxin is released and it gets into your bloodstream, that is what causes toxic shock syndrome for people that have a low immunity to it. So this whole process has nothing to do with your menstrual cycle or tampons. Every product that Tampax puts out there is safe to use whenever you use it correctly and by the directions. And actually, I'm just gonna read to you what notes I have because I think this is something really important. It says, before any Tampax product hits the shelves, it's carefully evaluated and tested to ensure it meets the strict quality and safety standards in every country where we market tampons and we market Tampax. So I just think that's really cool. Like about 7 or 8 months ago, I had a chance to go meet these scientists, and like, it was the coolest experience to see all of the science and research and technology that goes into these products, which makes me feel really safe and really taken care of. And so anyway, just wanted to like, I know that there's a lot of stuff on the internet, just wanted to touch on that. But yeah, I really hope that y'all enjoyed this video. I think it's just such a good topic to talk about because it's just not talked about a lot. And so that's what I kind of want my YouTube channel to grow more into, is just talking about those conversations, being transparent, being real and vulnerable with you guys, just to help you all out, and just know that this is kind of your little safe space on the internet. So I want to put a link for y'all to check out Tampax. This is what I use every time, well, you know, for those couple of that week during the month, but I'll put the link for you guys to check them out if you would like. And thank you so much, Tampax, for helping me out with this video. I think it was so helpful, and I really love you guys. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye.